Yo, 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 this is the Infinite Ambition Podcast. Recognize your limitless worth, damn it. Yes, sir, yes, sir. This is special edition right here. We got a gentleman today that I've known for some years, for quite a while, and quite a bit of people know him around the country, especially in Hawaii. We're going to get to a lot of stuff today, a lot of interesting things today. This is a very interesting gentleman right here, man. Many talents, interesting story. He has a lot going on. He has seen a lot, done a lot, been a lot, and ask 15 people about him, you'll hear 15 amazing stories. But right now, this is one man talking to one man, and man, I'm just going to get into it. Without further ado, man, right now I am speaking with Chrsi Simpson, a.k.a. The Bat. Man, give it up to him, man. What's up with your boy?
What it do, Khari? Nice to hear from you, man. Straight from Colorado all the way to Honolulu. That's what's up,
yes,
man.
Sir.
Big up for even reaching out.
Man, I was excited. I've been wanting to do this one for a minute. For people who have been listening to me for a while, this is the third episode of my second season. This is episode 23. And I've been wanting to do this one for a long time, even since my last season. But I've been in Colorado since 2015. So I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to do this with like mobile and with the time change and everything. So we're still working that out. So this is my first episode I've done with somebody far as away as Hawaii from Colorado. So, you know, like 4 hours behind me. So it's late night for me, late evening for you. We're actually doing this on FaceTime. So it's another first in the episode history. I mean, I've done a few video episodes, but those was like experimental. They were kind of like bad quality, whatever. So this is the first one I've actually done with decent quality in video. But because it's on the phone, it's going to be too big of a file to upload to the internet. So we're just going to do audio for now. But we might send a couple clips out, a couple screenshots, maybe if the quality is good. But without all that babbling, man, we're going to get in. This is about you. This ain't about me and tech issues, whatever. This is, everybody knows my show, knows it's about talking to creatives, talking to people, entrepreneurs, talking to people doing interesting creative things with their life, and has interesting stories. And whether it be coming of age stories or talking about their creativity, digging into the mind of interesting and creative people. And I like to start this one off today with Mr. Chrsi Simpson, man. We've known each other, I don't know, since 2011 or 12, but we won't get into all that. We're going to get into you. Let's take it all the way back, man. Let's take it back to your beginning, because you got an interesting story, man. You're growing up now. Are you from Hawaii originally, or are you from somewhere else and you came there later in life? How's your beginning start?
I'm born and raised over here in Hawaii on the east side, Kailua side. Ended up on Honolulu side. I would say gentrification. You know, the price of living on that side of the island just rose horrendously. So
wow.
Yeah, I done a lot of dirt, and I had to move away from the spots that I actually cruise with. The people that I used to hang with is a hot spot, right. You know what I mean? But my parents still live on that side of the island, so I go over there and visit them in Kailua, and I shoot straight back to the Honolulu side where all the opportunities is, you know, job-wise and everything.
Oh yeah, man, it's good you still stay in touch with your parents and the people over there that's keeping you grounded and had a strong influence on you. Was that when was that? Like late 80s, early 90s? What time frame was that?
So I was born Castle Medical Center in 1982. So I'm in my 40s, you know, early 40s.
Yes, sir, 41.
I was raised out that side, and for hip hop, I mean, I know you're hip hop orientated. It was like
yes,
maybe
sir.
age 14, 13 when I started jumping in ciphers, and I had a couple friends out there that spit, and it got to the point where I looked up to artists, but I wanted to really do what they was doing, you know what I mean? I wasn't one of those cats that just like to listen to hip hop and be like, yeah, cool. No, right. I wanted to be involved in the network, you know what I mean? So there's the 5 elements of hip hop, you know what I mean? So it's women, graffiti, breakdancing. I was all involved in all that shit, you know what I mean? Like ever since a kid. And we, even though Kailua ain't no hood or no ghetto, we made it like that, you know what I mean? We incorporated all the stuff that we would listen to from NWA, Ice Cube, to Dre, down all the way to the east side, you know, with RZA and Nas and Busta Rhymes, right. And all that good stuff, you know. I mean, I was raised as an 80s baby, mostly 90s hip-hop,
Yes,
I was orientated in, but I really looked down upon the 80s as well. I mean, had a lot of good cats that brought the 90s to that that pinnacle that hip-hop element was at that time, you know?
Yeah, every era had a foundation that came before it, that preceded it, that allowed it to be what it became. That's all from like the 70s when it started to the 80s, to the 90s, 2000s, and to now. Yeah. Each generation was the father to the next one. And all that you guys were absorbing from the culture, whether it be from the East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, that was blowing up at the time. Y'all absorbed it out there in the island, and it became a part of your life. And that's what you said, like, it became a part of Kailua, and it's spread out. Now, I'm not saying that that's the part of the island that it started in, but where it started for y'all there, that's where y'all are from, and just spread around. Wherever you went, you took it with you. That's what hip-hop did for a lot of people, man. It really did. Yeah,
so my mom is from Hawaii. You know, my dad is from the Bronx.
Okay.
So my dad grew up in the Bronx and as well as Queens and and all different boroughs of New York, but mostly originated in the Bronx. My dad was telling me, you know. Okay. My mom is from Kalihi. So from the Big Apple to the Pineapple, I incorporated
Big Apple to the Pineapple.
That's why I may talk like that. I got local slang, plus I got a little bit of the New York mainframe, because my dad talks like that. Then my mom, I mean, I got family from, you know what I mean, from Queens, Harlem, to from Manhattan all the way down to Kailua and Honolulu and Salt Lake, and yeah. So I look at it that way amongst where I'm from. When you ask so where you originated, it's just like I have both of those places in me. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And New York is a big one because that's where hip hop was born.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's where it all came from. So the way I look at it when I'm spitting down here, that's why I call it Hawaii hip hop, because it's orientated in Hawaii, my new album, and it's hip hop.
Right.
You know, it's not rap, it's not trap. I really love storytelling and speaking wisdom in my rhymes. I try to get the point across rather than just mumble jumble. You know what I mean? Stuff just like cat in the hat rap.
Exactly. I respect those who want to actually say something and make the listener think about what they're saying. It's not only just about melody and dancing. You gotta remember, like, the whole thing's it may have started with that, but what made it really blow is people who are actually saying something. The witty wordplay, the storytelling, the the metaphors and similes and everything that involved with just the creative writing process. That's what made me a fan of it right away when I was a kid. On top of the partying and the dancing and all that. Like, when I was listening to your album, which we're going to get into later in detail, that you rely very, very heavily on that. You have a whole bunch of concept songs in there, which I'm a huge fan of. I got some in my memory banks now that I want to get into later. But one thing that I know that's blew up a lot for you online, aside from your music, is your bodyboarding, man. Like, you are a beast out there on the waves. I remember we talked about in the Catching Up song we did, the FaceTime video we did, the song I was talking about how you was posting videos every day. I mean, before surgery. Like, how'd you get into that? I mean, I know being out there in Hawaii, that's a part of the lifestyle. It's part of the culture, bodyboarding and surfing. I got into surfing when I lived out there too. But like, what got you started in it? Was it somebody telling you need to come out here and do it? Or did you just take to it by yourself? And how did you get good at that too? Because you're killing it with the videos, professional quality. You got, like, I'm gonna let you talk about it, because that's your story.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, as a kid growing up in Kailua, I mean, I was involved in all kinds. Like, I was fighting. I was doing Kempo karate in Kailua Intermediate. I was on the basketball team. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then incorporated. I liked all sports. I couldn't just pick and choose one and just do good at it, which most parents want, because they want you to be that next NBA star, that next surfer star. I just loved everything. You know what I mean? I was into, like, remote control cars, and we was riding bikes to beach, catching the bus to Makapu, Sandy's, bodyboarding, sand sliding, basketball, break dancing. I was just, like, incorporated in all that, and
staying active.
What happened was I ended up hanging out with like hip hop. I guess it just you're not with the geeks. You know what I mean? I ended up incorporated with the breakdancers, the graffiti artists, the gang members, the drug dealers.
Yeah.
And I mean, at that age, 13, 14, Kailua Intermediate, this is like right before high school, it's just like, it led me away from all that good stuff. Karate, basketball, bodyboarding. And then I started just like drinking and drugging, you know what I mean? Hip hop, drinking and drugging, spitting, going to houses in the ghetto of Kailua, even though Kailua is not a ghetto, but there's areas like Kiapai and Wailepo Street.
I'm familiar.
And down areas where my mom always told me don't go down there. Like those are the bad parts of Kailua off Oniava Street.
Yeah.
And I met some of the realest cats, you know what I mean? Some of them are in jail right now. Some of them are not even alive right now. Some of them have passed, have OD'd, have whatever, you know what I mean? Got locked up and doing hard time for selling crack or whatever. But that's when I started going down the wrong route. I mean, but I was also, those are the cassette days. We had the cassette recorders.
Yep.
Where we have those tapes and the mics on the cassette, and we would be in the cypher and we would just like
passing it around,
record, and then we would just pass it around, and everyone would just start spitting.
That's how it was.
Yeah, I get goosebumps from that, because one of my artists on that new album I just released, it's called Ask Dan's, the song, and I would say that's my favorite track off of that album, off of the 50 tracks that I released.
Yeah.
And Ask Dan's, he really inspired me in hip hop. He had that Busta Rhymes flow.
Wow.
He was really incorporated where I would enter the cypher with him and he would just motivate me. You know what I mean? He's one of those cats.
Yep.
He's not alive now. He ended up hanging himself due to female issues, drugs in his system, alcohol, which is a depressant. And he's no longer with us, but Dan's a.k.a. Potential, he was one of the most motivating, inspirational cats. I wish I did more tracks with him.
Right.
Kind of deal. You know what I mean? And he has a brother that I'm really good friends with too, but he's not really like at that level that Dan's was at. And Dan's would always be like, yeah, bat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Push me into, and that beat, that dun, dun,
yeah, I remember.
Dun, 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 dun.
That's one of my favorite tracks on there.
For five, and he jumps in, 5 of your hottest hoes line up all in a row. He once I hit the first, the other was going like dominoes. I remember meeting up with this cat. I grew up with this cat in Kailua, and I remember meeting up with him in Vegas, and we did a cypher.
Word.
It's on DVD. My brother was recording. It was at the Venetian, I think. It was at the Venetian Hotel. He killed it. You know what I mean? This is the camcorder days where somebody had a camcorder. And I was beatboxing, and I was beatboxing, and he hit the flow, and then his brother hit the flow, and then someone else took over the beatbox, and I hit the flow.
I had a few of those tapes.
These are the kind of days that
too.
inspire me to do more, to hit more tracks, and
it's always
keep
a
going with
thing
this art form. You
have people like that around, and it hurts, leaves a gaping hole when they're no longer with us, because think about the potential that they had, what they could have been, what they could have blown up to, if they were to still be around with us today. But unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that after we sadly lose them, but to carry on their energy and their legacy and their spirit with the talent that we have and the skills that God blessed us with. And the only thing we can do is just try to do something good with it in their good name. Yeah, respect to that. Yeah, man, that one joint on there, that song you did about your dad, that was a really touching song for me. I was really feeling that one. There's a song, I think it was called Show Tunes or Show something. It was a song about like titles of TV shows. And the reason that one hit me a lot, because I used to be a huge couch potato up until I left home, and after high school, I was a crazy couch potato. That and video game head and artists, like graphic artists and stuff like that. So that song hit me out a lot. I was like, I kept rewinding certain lines, like, you said like 5 different show titles in one bar, but it made it work. I was like, that's crazy. And the song about like your dad, that hit me a lot, because just the way you show love to him and paying homage to him in a deep way. I was like, I had to. That one had replay value for me. I had to play that one twice in a row. I was playing that while I was working out one day, because I lost my dad when I was 4, so I grew up without one. But I had some father figures around me. But as far as like that dad unit right there, yes, I'm raised by a single mother, so I was like really feeling that joint. And there's a couple others that stood out a lot to me too. The 50th state of mind. You got so many 50 songs. That's like a triple disc. But you probably got more songs than that too in the cut somewhere. But for you putting out that album, I was very, very excited that you finally dropped something, because I know you've been dropping Lucy's forever, and they got a bunch of songs. So you finally put that out. I'm like, okay, I'm going to hear this. I'm going to help him spread the word about it, because it was dope. It was dope. I want to thank you. Thank you for
that, bro.
Putting that out to the public.
Yeah, mad love. I appreciate that. You don't even know. Like, I get, I'll be walking the streets. You know what I mean? I'll be at Whole Foods. I'll be at all around the island, and all of a sudden somebody will say, "Oh, you Chrsi Simpson, the Bat." Yeah, I love that track. I heard it on YouTube. Or, yo, that Welcome to Hawaii, man. That shit went viral on Facebook.
It did.
You're the guy, right? Welcome to Hawaii. I'm like, I get, like, I was just doing a DoorDash the other day, and this dude came up to me in the industrial area. It was like by old Triple C and something. I was doing a delivery. He said, "Yo, you Chrsi Simpson, right?" "Yeah, I love it. I'm digging your track. Keep up the good work." He said. I didn't even know who he was, but I asked these people from time to time, "What's your name?" I respect, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because if it wasn't for them, like the support, the fan base, that you don't even know what's there, but it's there, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it's real.
It's
you
about
know,
touching people.
that's the kind of stuff that inspires me to make more. That TV shows track, my cousin hit me up from Oakland. He's like, "Yo, how's this?" He sent me this little clip of a dude that did movies, right? He did all movies. He said,
right.
"Chris, you should do that." But I was thinking, I got to switch it up. I got to do something else. And I was thinking TV shows. There's so many shows I used to watch as a kid, and I had to incorporate it with my lifestyle. I couldn't just list TV shows like, The Simpsons or
Right.
Dragon Ball Z. I incorporated all those TV shows, Who's the Boss and all that shit, as my life. Like what I went through, like how I born in Kaneohe, moved to, you know what I'm saying? Moved to Japan when I, like, in Dragon Ball Z, and then ended up moving back, and then hanging with the wrong people. I met the real Hawaii 5-0 and Magnum PI. This is real shit. This is real talk. Like, this is the kind of shit I ended up doing in life. Like, I ended up in Halava prison. I had 5-0 come in, bursting in the doors for a felony that was 2 years ago, for when I was at my PO for my baby mama drama, like the temporary violation of breaking the, you know what I mean, to see my son,
tell your rhymes,
like all this shit, like it's real, it's real shit, real talk.
Tell your rhymes what
and that's the thing about my album, is real talk.
Exactly.
Well, another favorite song is Senses. I don't know if you heard that one.
I heard the whole album.
I see repetitious visuals of handguns and criminals, animals, silverback gorilla, individuals. You know what I mean? That song, I get out of, when I first met you at CPK, I'm living in a clean and sober house, and this dude, like, this is during the time of Dat Piff and all that shit on Facebook. They're like, "Oh, you want to be on a mixtape? Send me $50 and you could be on Killer Priest's mixtape and corporate with yada yada yada." So I ended up shooting money out, right? And this dude, Advo Jers from New Jersey, that's his name, Advocate, the Advocate. His name is the Advocate, but his Instagram is Advo Jers. So he got me on some mixtapes, and that beat, it came from the Snow Goons. And I bought it on iTunes, and I was thinking, what am I gonna do? I was thinking, fuck, I'm just gonna shoot this cat in New Jersey, what I seen, what I heard, what I smelt, what I saw, and I was thinking, what am I gonna call this song? And I just figured, like, senses, you know what I mean? Because it's all the different senses that God blessed us with. You know what I mean? You smelled the kush, you seen a armed robbery, you felt pussy. You know what I mean? Like, all this different kinds of shit in life that you want to incorporate in us. Like, senses is one of my favorites too, but I have plenty of favorites. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got tailor-making your rhymes to your life, things you experience, the way you see things, and the way you feel about issues personally is how you stand out. Like, for example, that TV title song. Anybody could just rhyme a bunch of TV titles together and make a song. That doesn't mean it's gonna be hot and be real. You make it cater to, customize it to you yourself. That's what people are going to gravitate to. And the more real it is, the more that your fans and supporters will get behind that. Because if they see you just doing something for a gimmick or something that they think is going to go viral or whatever, they'll be like, "Yeah, that was cute, but that's not really him, so I'm not going to ride with it." But if they see you being your natural, authentic self, what you are being, they're like, "Okay, yeah, salute to the homie." And that's what makes your shit, like, stand out the way it does. You know, like, there's like a lot of respect for that, man. was one of the things that I wanted to get to. Well, real quick before I get to this next subject, so this next subject is fun, really fun. But like, I think you told me this story before, but for those who don't know, where did the name the Bat come from?
Well, the Bat was incorporated by this one dude. He in prison right now. He just gave it to me and it just stuck. It's like I was in the back seat of the car. We was all smoking weed and he said the Bat. You know what I mean? And it just stuck. And then cats would just call me that ever since. You know what I mean? That was pretty much in my teenage years. And the Bat. And then all of a sudden Dan's heard it. And Dan's said, yo, and it just incorporated, yo, it's the Bat. Okay, you know what I mean? And the spelling, the THA, I just wanted it misspelled. You don't have to put THE. Right. BAT. I like it with the THA.
Yeah.
It just little.
It has that slang hip hop element.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Batman and the whole incorporation. I love it because the Bat, the logo, that's the Wu Tang logo, and the Wu Tang is my favorite hip hop group. You know what I mean?
That's a phoenix, though, right?
And that's what the W is the Bat.
I thought
and
it was
that's
a phoenix.
What they're all holding up. It's the Chinese. It's a good luck. In China, you know what I mean, and I'm Chinese. I'm different. I'm African American, Chinese, Filipino, Hawaiian, Puerto Rican. I'm a bunch of different nationalities. I'm like a mixed plate, they call it, right? A poi dog down here. So the thing about it is, the Bat. That's my Chinese side. That's the Asiatic black man. You know, the Bat.
Yeah.
And it incorporates. It's stuck. You know, somebody gave it to me, and it just stuck. And this dude's name is Carlton, and he's still in prison. He must have did like 20 years. I don't know what he just is just a repeat offender. You know what I mean? Fucking stealing cars from drug dealing, and it just runs in the family. His younger brother's in there too right now for fentanyl, selling fentanyl. And I know these cats from way back. And you see the Bat, Black. You know what I mean? They call me Black because I'm part black, or you know what I mean. There's plenty of names, but the Batman is just what happened. And
that's what's
ever
up.
Since then, I was thinking that's what it is, the Bat.
See, the story you told me a while back. I mean, you was probably just joking when you said it, but when I asked you about that many years ago when we met, I think you was joking around about you saying something about your haircut or hairline or something. But I don't know, maybe you just.
Well, yeah. So the vampire bat. What kind of bat are you? A wombat? A fruit bat? But it stuck to the point where a vampire bat, because I got the widow's peak, right? I got the widow's peak. Okay. So the vampire bat stuck. You know what I mean? But it's just to keep it short. It's just Bat. You know what I mean? Bet. Like the RZA, like the Jizza. It's just 3 letters, BAT, and that's just to keep it simple because there's a lot of artists out there with these long ass names. You'd be surprised how many little there are too. Little Wayne, Little Tekka, Little Turk, but it ain't Little Bat. It's a big Bat.
There's too many
because
of them.
The bat is
6.200 pounds, man.
Right. Man, yeah. Well, because I used to think, well, you're right about the Bat, the Wu Tang symbol. I remember RZA in the interview lately, you was saying that was a phoenix, but it could be both things. It probably is both things. But yeah, that was dope. Like me and you, we went to a Wu show. Well, it was actually it was Raekwon and Ghostface. They performed in Hawaii. But before we even get to that part though, when those of y'all who don't know how we met. Like we used to work at California Pizza Kitchen together. You know, we was at back when I was living in Hawaii. You know, he was on dishes and I was working the pasta station. We was doing it up, man, every day on the grind, man. And at some point, there was like in that restaurant there was the house speakers used to always play music constantly through the house speakers. Some stations, I don't know what it was, but there was these instrumentals playing. And every time we cross each other, we always talk about how dope this instrumental was. And it would change like halfway through the song. He would talk about how much he loved the second half, and I would talk about how much I love the first half. And we would be joking around. He's joking around like, man, we should do something to this, man. We should do a beat. I'm like, do a song. I'm like, all right, I'm with it. Because I kind of knew he rhymed a little bit. He kind of knew I rhymed just through the talking back and forth. But yeah, and he was like, well, why don't you just do a song about working here? And I'm laughing like, I don't want to do a song about working here. I thought you was joking, but then you told me about it. You kept saying it every time you saw me. Then you convinced me. I'm like, all right, this could be fun. Let's do it. And we one day we linked up, came out to my house out in Makaha where I was at. Man, he came out with your cousin, a couple girls on. One of them I didn't know who it was, but the other one. Oh man, her name slipping my mind right now.
It's Candace. Yo.
Candace, yes.
Candace Welch.
Candace Welch, yeah. She ended up dropping the chorus, man. But man, tell everybody about like how that whole went down. We rode out there with her riding in the car, and yeah, just go ahead into that.
Yeah, that's my cousin Salt Lake. My cousin Salt Lake Drake.
Yeah.
He's the one that I was living in the cleanest sober house, and I was like, he rose up with the girl Candace. She said she could sing and all this shit, and I had my setup at the crib. But I was like, yo, my homie, he got a whole studio down on West Side. He lives, so I hit you up, and they're like, yeah, let's take a drive. I didn't even have my license yet. I was just in the back seat.
Yeah.
Just watching my cousin Drake, and Candace was driving, and she was singing the whole way there. I was thinking, damn, she got to jump on this track, because I had a verse written, you had a verse written, the beat was already incorporated, you had that ready for us, and I was like, okay, we on our way. Little did I know that was an hour and 45-minute drive. Motherfucker lived in the boondocks. He was all the way past Makaha. He was like Cayenne Point or whatever the fuck. He was gone. We was like, Drake, so my cousin Drake was like, yo, we there yet?
Where you live at?
I was like, no, man, the GPS. This cat live all the way down. I was thinking, damn, Khari,
man.
You had to do a commute to CPK. I was thinking, damn, I thought I was traveling. Every day. You had to do a whole fucking journey to get to work.
The grind,
where
man.
It was work, just getting to work for you.
Yeah.
But when we got there and you spit your verse, I told Candace she had it right off the bat. She didn't even know what to say. I was like, California Pizza Kitchen, curry pasta, Chris on dishes. Yep. You with him? She was killing it to a point where
took her like 25 takes.
She got mad because she got mad at me because I said the N-word in one of my tracks. So she stopped doing tracks with me. But I had a few tracks with her. You know, she did one called Faith. Okay. She did that CPK song. She was on another one, but I still can't get in touch with that girl. But to tell you the truth, though, we had our time with her, and she really hit it off. And us three, we killed that track. I still have that shit playing in my head. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a fun song, man. I'm glad I refound that song over the years and sent it to you when we did the FaceTime song, because for a while I couldn't find it. I don't know how I found it, but I refound it.
Yeah, I probably lost it again too. But when I get it, it'll be on my next album.
No, it's still in the email space.
We'll get sued from the guy Eddie, the general manager.
Nah, he liked it though. He
said you gotta take it off. You guys gotta take it off.
He's the one who put the logo on the graphic because it had cursing on it, but he liked the song personally. He told me himself.
He said, yeah, that's man. Cool, no, but you guys gonna have to take that off YouTube.
Yeah.
He's like, oh shit, before you both get fired. And I was thinking, shit, it's my only job at the moment.
Yeah, but I played it over the house speakers in the restaurant a few nights closing because people asked me to. I remember Leslie, she liked it. She was like, can you play a CPK song? I'm like, all right. We was playing, jamming out, cleaning the stations to it until midnight. That was kind of cool, man. But yeah, we did. What else we do together? That FaceTime song. It was like a video, like kind of we're doing now, but it was like we wrote it out and we practiced it and then did the song. Like, how'd you come up with? Because I think that was like mostly your idea or something. You came up to me with the idea.
I called that one "Catching Up." I released that on that new album I put out, Hawaii Hip Hop.
I was looking for it on the album. I didn't see it.
We was pretty much just catching up with each other, right? We was
yeah.
Just, like,
I didn't see it on the album,
what you up to, what you doing, and you know what I mean. So it was like a nice idea of catching up. That's pretty much how we did it. But
it wasn't
an
on the
average
YouTube
phone
version,
call.
though.
It's like, yo, what it do? What's up, yo? How you been? You know what I mean? Send that beat. What's your email? Like, it kind of it worked out though, man. It was dope.
Well, if on the YouTube version of the album, it's not on there. I don't know if you've seen it. I think it's on the Spotify and the Apple upload of the album. But if you go on YouTube for your album, that song's not on there. But our video is though.
But it's on Instagram. Like some of the stuff, you know how it is with these
it's kind of
these different apps. Some of them get declined, some of them go through. It's kind of weird, you know what I mean? How it works out. The main thing is you don't get sued, you know what I mean? We ain't really making as much sales as Kanye West or Jay-Z, but once you hit like over 100 million thousands of streams, then they're like, hey, wait a minute, who made that beat?
Yeah, once you get to a certain level,
is that a legal download, or did you know what I mean? Did you pay for the rights of that? But we ain't there yet. But I think once you hit that point, then that's stardom. Like if they sue UK, cool. Now you gotta get a lawyer. You're gonna be you get known at that point. You know what I mean? But we ain't there yet. But it's all fun and games, and the main thing is it's just a hobby. Like I don't make money off of that. I lose money off of this shit. I never made a dime off that people was downloading. I don't know where the money goes. The people that create these apps and how to create a CD, they're the ones making the money. We as the artists, we lose. I think the only money as artists is either you do features or you do live shows. Like the CD industry and the music, you don't make shit. You know what I mean? You lose it. Somebody burns it. Somebody sends it out, emails it to him, and the thing is, there's no way around it. You're gonna get ripped. You know what I mean? Someone's gonna get your album. I can go on YouTube right now and not pay for somebody's shit that was just uploaded. I'll just go on this application, send it through there, and then I'll drop it in my iTunes, pass the FireWire, go right to my phone. You know what I mean? I mean, that's how it is nowadays. And for my album at least, you see how it's shot in. You don't have to buy that. Back in the day, you had to buy the whole album to get that one track you like. Now you can just go in and buy that one track, 99 cents, and then just disregard the other 48 songs on my disc.
You might see $1.50 off of that download.
Yeah.
So
I lost money. I actually still paying for that shit. They over there like you owe. I'm like, wait a minute, man. You said an annual fee.
Yeah, it's one time a year, supposedly. That's the stuff you got to watch, man. With some of those online distributions, man. I've been with DistroKid for the past 6-7 years, and they've done me right so far. I've had a good experience with them. My last two albums was pushed out through them, and my latest mixtape was pushed out through them, and I pushed out a few Lucy's through them, and the group album I did with my boy the Gemini, Midwest, the Ram Country Chronicles Volume 1, that was pushed out through them, and it did well. I mean, it ain't make no big money or nothing like that, but people are knowing about it, so it's out there available. And the link to your album and the links to my album will be in the description of this episode, because this episode will be on YouTube and Spotify and my Apple Podcast channel also. But one of the things that inspired me to hurry up and get this episode recorded with you was I've always wanted to do one with you, but something that really put the battery in my back and said, I got to do this episode now while it's fresh in my head was when I called you up after watching the last episode of the Wu Tang series on HULU. Because remember I called you up, I was all excited. I was like, dog, we got to talk about this series right now. It was dope. I was hyped because I know first thing I thought about was who's the biggest Wu Tang fan I know. Your name popped in my head right away. I got a bunch of other homies that are big Wu Tang fans, but you're probably one of the biggest ones I know. And I thought about that, and I thought about that Ghostface and Raekwon show we went to go see in Hawaii downtown. And I think it was like above Senior Frogs or somewhere downtown. No, wait, it was that club that I forgot the name of.
Is it the Republic? Raekwon wasn't there. It was Ghost and Sheik Louch.
Oh, Sheik Louch,
yeah,
my bad.
Or whatever. Yes. It was Ghost and Sheik, and that's like one of the guys from the Wu Block. They call it. So the only guy that was missing was Jadakiss. So if Jadakiss was there and Ghostface and Sheik, it would have been, Wu Block. They call it. They call it Wu Block. If you go on YouTube, and that's them three together. And Jada, the managing Jada there would have been fucking. it would have been crazy. And then you bring in, Memphis, then there'll be the Locks.
Yep.
You add these kind of how they make these groups. You incorporate one or two of them. But it's funny how the Republic, they're not really a big venue, so they'll bring Big Boy, but they won't bring Andre. It's like, just bring both of them so it could be the Outcast. You know what I mean? Why you going to bring one of them and fucking you going to leave that's just pretty much the Ghost. And Ghost was saying that he hasn't come out to Hawaii ever since because of the promoters. It's just like, it's a pain in the ass that these guys would rather just go to Vegas. They'd rather just go to L.A. They'd rather just go. They'll make more money than you're going to fly out him all the way out here and pay the expensive and just break even. Like, you don't make that much money. Hawaii, they got it at a system where that's why a lot of artists don't come here. You know what I mean? So in order to see these guys perform, you got to fly to you got to fly out. You got to leave Hawaii. You know what I mean? And that's what I do to follow the Wu Tang. Shit, I just recently flew to Oakland. And it was supposed to be in Sacktown, but the show got canceled in Sacktown weeks before I had front row. And so I had to get my tickets back from Ticketmaster, get the refund, and then buy $1,000 of tickets in Oakland. So me and my girl be front row. But Oakland was it was a nuts venue, you know what I mean? It was worse than when we seen them in Long Beach the year before.
Okay.
We saw the Wu-Tang.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I follow these cats, you know what I mean? And last time the Wu-Tang came down here was at the Blaisdells in 2007. It came with Bone Thugs and Harmony and Supernatural. And it was those three, Supernatural, Bone Thugs and Harmony, and the Wu-Tang Clan. But
I seen Bone perform in Hawaii too.
Yeah, ODB wasn't there. He passed before that. But he was here on the islands at the Warped Tour. But this is back in 98, you know what I mean? 97 or some shit where I was like fucking really deep in my drug use and high school shit. I never really even made it. But now that I'm not using alcohol and drugs and all that shit, I can really appreciate these guys more, because when I go to these shows, I'm sober and I'm listening to every fucking word. It's not like when I was drunk and I say, yeah, what a cool show. But it's kind of like the night we went and seen Ghost at the Republic at 2014. I remember every fucking bit of it. I even remember that photo bomber when I was supposed to take a picture of Ghost and that fucking dude popped his head in the photo.
I remember that. You still got that photo?
Yeah, but at least I got the Ghostface shirt signed, remember?
Yeah, I remember
and
that.
That was free. Now Ghost charges $300 for a meet and greet. Yeah, that was a small venue, so I got the shirt. I took that
picture on your phone. You still got it?
Signed it. It was just then and go, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that was a fun night.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite artists is Ghostface. Out of the whole clan, Ghost is one of my my all-time fave. And then you got Method Man, you got RZA, you got ODB, they're all dope. But I mean, Ghost, his whole style, his whole his flow, his wordplay, it's just fucking, it's remarkable. You know what I mean?
He's one of my favorite members too. And I was a late Wu Tang fan. I caught on to him late. Like back when they started popping when I was in high school. A couple of my dudes I was kicking with in high school. One of my boys, Zips, a.k.a. Taylon, rest in peace. He was a huge Wu head, man. And he's always spitting their rhymes. He's rhyming himself. He used to write like him. And back then, it was like a little too complex for me. I was like, my sophomore, junior, senior year in high school, I was more like on some old Midwest and West Coast stuff. I was like, it was like a little too much for me at the time. I couldn't get it. Then like later on in life, when I turned like 19, 20, I started really feeling them and understanding. So I started going back and listening to the older stuff. Then I understood why they were so hyped, why they were so hard, why people loved them so much. And I started getting into it more over time, their individual solo albums and stuff, and understanding what the Wu really meant, what it was about, understanding why their songs are this titles, the history of them. So I was a later Wu Tang fan, but I caught on to them late, and I became a fan. And when the series came out, I'm like, oh, I'm watching this. And I was hanging on every episode. What'd you think about that series, though? What'd you think about it?
It was dope, you know what I mean? I thought it could have been better, but you got to look at it this way. The RZA, he has so many different things he's doing. He's going on tour with the New York State of Mind tour. He's juggling, in his other hand, the Wu Tang episodes. And then in his other hand, he's juggling another movie. And then in his other hand, he got a book. And there's another, you know what I mean? The dude is just fucking, and then he's like one of the best of the best. I mean, producers, like, of all time. He's doing so much.
Right.
That you could see that he had to end it, and nobody wanted him to end it there. But I mean, that's pretty much where it all stopped. After the money, they all split up. You know what I mean? That's why they're thinking of doing another series called The Breakup. Because after that, they all split up. Everyone got their own albums. They all what split them up too is the money. The money is what split them up. You know what I mean? If you really research into it. If you watch not only that, but there's the documentaries. I
saw that.
Mics of Men.
That was a good documentary
on iTunes. Too. That's a really good one. There's all kinds of different stuff that they left out. But if you really research these cats, you will see it that the money is what just split them all up.
Right.
And it lost their all. Some of them are cousins like Jizza, ODB, and RZA, and it brought bickering and a lot of fucking anger and frustration. They just like they couldn't. It's like bringing 9 guys together, 10 guys together, and they're all apex predators. They all want to kill each other. They all disagree. Everyone's not on the same page.
They all had egos and different creative differences too.
To maintain.
Right. And you got to think, just getting those 9, that many guys together in the first place was a feat in its own. That's damn near impossible. Already we got that many guys are that talented, that hungry, and that confident. Just that alone. Then the fact that he put out 6 albums, 5 or 6 total. But
none of them killed each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the last few they put out. The last few they put out wasn't really vibing.
How's
that
Ghost and Raekwon? Now they doing albums and shit.
Huh?
How's that go when it started? The Ghost and Raekwon. Nobody knows Raekwon shot up Ghost's house. They didn't like each other to begin with. The RZA. So now looking at them, they're like brothers. They're putting out albums together. You know what I mean? Bulletproof Wallets and all these albums that they've done together. The Purple Tape and now. But if you look at their past, one's from Stapleton, one's from Park Hill. They wanted to kill each other. You know what I mean?
Some hood shit for real.
Just them coming together like that it was crazy. It just like nobody knew that until the HULU You know what I mean? The Hulu episodes is one of those stories that is like, what? Raekwon didn't like ghosts?
And all of them individually can have their own stories, their own spinoffs if they want to go that route, because they're each of them individually as artists and personal lifestyles and adventures is a movie within themselves, because they all have so much going on. It was all so good. And not to mention like the offshoots and the affiliate groups and the satellite groups like the Killer Bees, Grave Diggers, and there's some other ones I can't think of right now. That
Sons
was also
part of them. It goes so far that they couldn't dig that.
Many of them.
It would have to be an endless series. Wu Tang is forever. That shit would just run continuously. Yeah, there's the Killer Army.
Yep, Killer
Army.
There's
the Grave Diggers. There's
them.
the Sons of Man.
Sons of Man, yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so much shit. Like they really didn't show Killer Priest a lot. He was in a lot of the Wu Tang Forever songs, and if you look into it, a lot of stuff was missing. They just couldn't fit it in. It's just too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that could have been like a 15-part series if they wanted to.
Fans, we know because we seen the documentaries and read the books, and you know what I mean. We have all their CDs. Some of these cats got all of their CDs, even the mixtapes. And it's just that, you know what I mean. You the more research you've done with this cat, the more you know about this clan.
Yeah, like when you just recently when you plugged me into Solomon Childs and had me speaking to him, I didn't know about the
theater unit.
Yeah,
you know what theater? If you ask Solomon, like, theater unit, it was created because Ghostface didn't like G Unit. G Unit from 50 and Ghost don't get along. So when 50 created G Unit, Tony Stark, Ghostface created Theodore Unit. And he's like, yeah, he's going to incorporate all these cats, Solomon Childs, fucking, if you research all these guys that are in his unit, these are real cats. These are guys from the fucking streets, different barrels. And he didn't just sign these guys because they're fucking crazy, you know. They had to have flow. Yeah. And they had to have, you know what I mean? Like, if you research who's in that unit, and there's mixtapes in that unit. So Solomon Childs is one of the top dogs in Theodore Unit. Yeah. He has it tatted on his body, the Wu Tang. But the thing about it is when you meet these guys, talk to them on the phone and their corporations, what they'll do is they'll have you under their wing, but they're not gonna fucking give you money and you're not part of the general.
You gotta earn
the 9 members. You're just the Killer Bees. You gotta do your own work. Okay, you got Ghost's name on your album, RZA produced, but you gotta do. So he's reaching out to people like me. He wants to feature. He said $300 a feature. He charges other people $7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's asking if I know any. So nowadays, these artists that you listen to, like he's on a lot of good songs that like you listen to on CDs back 10 years ago. They're reaching out to fans in their inbox, and they want money, and they want help, and they want promotions, and you know what I mean? But back in the day, there was never shit like that. You buy their album, their CD at Tower Records, and you wouldn't never ever hear from them. There was no social media. There was no nothing. You were like, who does this guy even exist? But yeah, that's Solomon Childs, and he'll call you. You hear his voice.
Yeah, we spoke on the phone a couple times. We've been texting, and I was like, okay, I should look up his stuff on his socials. I saw look up his albums on Apple Music. He's got a lot of music out there. I haven't even got through all of it yet. He got so much. So I was like, yeah, I've been getting into his stuff. Yeah, he's a solid dude, man. What'd you think about that $1 million album that RZA said is a Wu Tang album? One copy, sold for $1 million. I don't remember the name of the person who bought it.
Yeah, it's gone. The feds got it. I don't know. That's Martin Swirly or whatever.
They got it from him.
He bought it. He uppriced the AIDS pill. He raised the price to the point where the people with AIDS couldn't buy the pill. And then he got sued, and then they raided his house and they took the album.
Yeah. Okay.
So the guy that was supposed to buy the album was M80. The almighty M80, if you go on Instagram. And I was messaging him. He does a Tuesday. You really should look into this. Every Tuesday, he does in California. He does Cali time. He does he's an A&R, and he's one of my favorite artists and repertoires. He produced DMX. He produced all these cats. If you go on his page, the almighty M80.
All right.
You go on there, and he's the one the second guy that was he bidded for it, and he was gonna buy it, but the other guy had a higher bid. But this guy, he's a multimillionaire. No, but that's why on the Wu Tang album, Once Upon a Time in Shaolin, if you look up on that song, the guy Miko the Pharaoh, he's a West Coast Killer Bee. He said you should have sold it to the almighty M80. You know what I mean? Like they did a song about Martin Shkreli. It's called Once Upon a Time in Shaolin. and everyone hit it. Solomon Childs, Miko the Pharaoh, all the Killer Bees hit it and just dissed Martin squarely. And I talked to him about it. He said that if he would have bought it, he would have released it to everyone. You know what I mean? Now nobody can hear it. So the way I feel about it, I feel just like Ghost. Like, fuck that cat. Like, I hope he's in jail right now, getting beat up, and the kind of shit that he did, taking away, raising the money on the AIDS pill to buying the Wu Tang album and not letting anybody. You know what I mean? It kind of it's, and the story behind it all, RZA and the guy Silver Rings that did it. What they did was they reached out to all these guys like Ghost, You God, Inspector Deck. And they didn't tell them about it. So they just what paid for features, you know what I mean? And then they got all these features, and then they put it all together. Right. And then they released that album, and none of these guys knew. Ghost didn't know it. So when they found out about it, they were mad. And I would be mad too, because the RZA, like, once again, the RZA is just making money off of these guys, and they ain't getting shit. All they got was the feature pay. You know what I mean? Like, and then the Silver Rings and RZA get that multi-million-dollar deal. And then these artists that are on it don't get shit. Like that's like, I think that was kind of a rip. I don't really agree with all that shit that went down, and it's very unfortunate that none of us get to hear it.
You can kind of tell watching the documentary when I was like that scene when I was like on the theater, kind of watching the footage of the doc. You can kind of see the energy was off. Like they wasn't like really on the same page, really fucking with each other. Like, I mean, you can just feel it before you knew about a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. Like just watching that. With footage that they had, it wasn't all grits and gravy like it should have been. But yeah, man, I was excited to talk about that series with you, because it wasn't that many people. I got people that I know who are really into it, but people that I know who are deep into it, that's knowledgeable about the Wu as you are. So they want to not reach out and get this episode going. Without talking about that with you. And one of the big things I hats off to you for and salute you for is your sobriety journey. You touched on that a little bit earlier today talking about it. But to those listening who may be going through that or have gone through that or might need to go through that, what kind of advice or experiences would you be willing to share with them that's helped you along in your start and now? Like looking back to type of life you used to lead comparison to the life you lead now. Let's talk about the pros and cons of that, and let's talk about your journey, because you can say some things that may help steer people in the right direction, some things that people can relate to. Well, like that's amazing to hear that you've how far you've come along that way. Like, what do you feel like you've been your toughest struggles?
The advice I got is just stay sober. You know what I mean? Just like my license plate says, I pay $60 a year just so my license plate can say STYSBR. You know, stay sober. That's my advice. And my mama used to always tell me that shit, but I never would listen. You know what I mean? I get it now. My tutu used to tell me, "You gonna get it," she would say. Mm-hmm. And then I told my tutu recently, she's 90 years old, and I told her, I got it now, tutu. So the thing about it is, I was gonna get it. That's how they say it back here, the local style. You gonna get it, and I did get it. You know what I mean? I got it in prison, I got it homeless on the beach, I got it. You know what I mean? Some people got to hit rock bottom to get it, you know what I mean? And some people just die, so they don't even have the chance to get it, you know what I'm saying? So I'm lucky enough I had the second chance, and I would say third, fourth, fifth chance. Like I really dodged bullets, you know. I'm lucky enough, and what they say in treatment and all that shit is that you're here for a reason, and the reason why you're still alive. Some people OD, some people die, DUI, car crash, is dead just like that on the spot. But I guess I'm here for a reason, and the reason is to spread that message, to stay sober. You know what I mean? That's my
done a great job of that.
That's my advice. Yeah. On the journey that I had, it was a really nuts one, and I'm still dealing with it. You know what I mean? I'm still dealing with it. Like, for instance, karma. You know what I mean? And back in the day, I was with Salt Lake Drake in Waikiki. Let's say 13 years ago, I ripped I was taking purses from Japanese ladies, running down the street. I ripped this lady, dragged her across the street, took her purse, went all the way down and dug through it down by the hotels. And I look back at it, and I just got one of my gold chains ripped off in Colombia. And I was thinking, fuck, man, karma's a bitch, ain't it?
Yeah.
That shit came at me like 10 years ago, and that still ripped the fear out of me, as well as the lady that I purse snatched. So the thing about it is that the wrongdoings that I've done, and the how far I've came. Like, for instance, in 2 weeks I make 11 years. Maybe not 2 weeks, like 8 days, maybe 1 week. I think on the 28th, the 28th I make 11 years clean and sober. I'm talking weed.
Salute to that. Congrats.
So yeah, it's just the beginning. The way I look at it, 11 years, shit, I was in the disease like 20 years, you know? I was in the disease for 20 years straight. And so I'm not even it out yet. You know what I'm saying? I still have a lot of shit coming for me, a lot of karma coming for me. I got a lot of, but
I believe in
can't
karma
dodge
to the
that.
fullest,
I just got to
really
deal
do.
with it. And yeah, because I've done a lot of bad. You know what I mean? I can just do good from now on, and just set a good message for my son who turns 13 in 5 days.
There you go.
I can't see him because of my wrongdoings in the past. I'm fighting for custody. I can't get shit. The girl has full custody. But if you look at my past, that's the courts. They run it like that. You know what I'm saying? And
that's what they look at.
yeah, I can get hit with fucking back child support. There's all kinds of shit that can happen to me. But I just like live it day by day. You know, stay clean and sober.
There you go.
One day at a time. And then my new dope is music. Is this shit that we fucking with right now? We talking about right now. And my new alcohol is the ocean. You know, the best things in life for free.
Like
you know what I mean? You got music, you got the ocean.
Yep.
That's what keeps me going. And like as of right now, for instance, I can't go in the ocean because my knee and this is all fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just focusing on music. I'm writing songs. Some dude by the name of Rory Redmond, he just shot me a beat. He's like, yo, hit this. He reached out. He just hit this blank spot. You know, I'm writing to that. I'm actually working on my own shit, my own beats and stuff like that. And in the meantime, there's artwork, there's drawing, painting. You know what I mean? And I'm writing a book myself. Like it's taking like 20 minutes a day. I just put a little bit in my book that I'm writing in order to help people stay clean and sober. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. We make creativity your new addiction. That's a healthy addiction that's going to help you grow and can't do anything bad to you. Can't be anything wrong for you. You know, like you said, you mentioned that sometimes we all got to hit rock bottom to be having an awakening and go nothing but up from there. You know, I've had my rock bottom moments where I came out of that and said, I don't care what I got to do in the rest of my life to never reach this point again. No matter what happens, no matter what I do, it's all the way up from here. I don't care what kind of sacrifices I got to make. This will never be my life ever again. And I did that. I'm still moving up, you know, and I feel like any blessings or good things that happened to me in my life since that point has been a karma of that discipline and resilience and prayer and hard work. And anything bad that's ever happened at that point or before that point was from dumb, stupid mistakes I may have made in the past and before that I had to pay for. And, you know, I just feel like, you know, God works in mysterious ways on many levels. And if you keep that in focus and keep your goals in mind for the future, near and far, then it's going to help with your continued growth. And for people like us, creatives or anybody, put that into your creative journey, into your talent, into your skills, whether it be music, art, dance, building, creative, business, wherever that is. If it's a healthy passion and staying on the legal side of things, you're growing, other people are growing. Can't help but to do nothing but go up from there. You know, that's a beautiful thing, man. Commend you on that. You say you was working on an album or you're working on a book. What else you got going on? I noticed when you just came off of vacation, you and your lady was on a cruise. I saw he had posted a picture. He's doing some little bit of physical therapy on your knee, still exercising it and stretching it. That's good. Even though you're like on vacation, having a good time, you're still making sure you're taking care of your body. You're not working it too hard. Do you have a forecasted time of when you can get back out in the ocean or when you can be back and doing athletic things again?
Shit, hopefully by my birthday, 7/7.
7/7.
You know what I mean? July 7th.
Okay.
I'm praying, but I can't rush into it because I don't want to go back 3 months of therapy. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
It's almost 3 months. It's almost 3 months into surgery, you know, so 3 months since my surgery. So
yeah,
they usually say 3 months you should be not fully recovered, but able to do like go back to work, go back to Whole Foods. But
yeah.
I'm scheduled to go back in June 6th, but we'll see about that. It's not up to me. It's up to my knee. You know,
Right.
My knee's like, no, not yet. Maybe a couple more weeks. It's up to the doctor, my knee, and all that. So
And that was knee replacement
it's in God's
surgery,
time,
right?
not my time. You know.
You said that was a knee replacement surgery, right? Was that from the accident, or was that from just?
Yeah, it's a total knee replacement. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that from the
So
car
it's
accident?
a
or was
whole
that from,
new
'cause you
knee.
needed to
It's
have it
metal.
done?
Yeah. It's a whole new knee, bro. People 50 and older get it, but I'm in my 40s, so I got it because my knee was screwed up from the car accident. Yeah, so they gave me a new knee.
Got it.
So I'm suing the guy that hit me. So hopefully I get big money. Hopefully I'll be on more cruises. You know what I mean?
Vacay, man, see the world, man. You know, I don't know about the cruise life. Like, I used to work with Norwegian Cruise Line for 3 or 4 years. So, yeah, I can't wait till one day.
Yeah, I'm going on the Norwegian, bro, in September. We're going to Alaska on the Norwegian Bliss.
You're going to Alaska.
That's the one. Is that the ship that you was on?
I haven't been up there. I was on one of the other ships. I haven't been to Alaska yet, but one day, you know, me and my wife are going to take a cruise somewhere on some ship. We haven't decided which one or where yet, but that's
You
something
guys
on our
gotta
list
go
to do.
Alaska, bro. That's the one they said.
I don't know if I want to do the cold though, man. I'm not a big. If I want to go on vacation, I'm on vacation somewhere where I'm not
You want to
cold.
go to the Bahamas or something, Jamaica?
Yeah, I mean,
Whatever you do, just be careful if you go Colombia, because that was a
yeah, I don't know about Colombia right now. I've done it.
that was a real experience for me.
I've done an island thing. You know, we would say Lucia on our honeymoon. I was on the cruise line where we did a lot of the islands on those Atlantic cruises and stuff. So I've done a lot of that, but I wouldn't mind going somewhere tropical again. But maybe somewhere up north, maybe Europe or something, Africa. Possibly.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I've been to a lot
That's
of
a good
countries.
one.
That
The
a lot of
European
countries I
one,
wanna go
because
in
it
the
goes
future,
to
huh?
Italy. It goes to it goes like there's the nice European one, but it's expensive.
I'm
We're
sure
just
they
looking
are.
into that one.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah, maybe the next time. Maybe after the Alaska one, we're gonna do the European. My girl might do it with her mom because her mom runs the cruise line planners, and so she gets free trips. Yeah. So my girlfriend's mom, is a cruise line planner, so she gets all kind of deals.
Yeah, we just got.
So I might not be able to take off as much as my girl. My girl gets to take off for work. Once I'm back to work, I can request off, but not like fucking every month. You know what I mean?
Right, you gotta build that up. That's how it is, man. Play the game until you own the team. All right, man. Well, shit, man. You got any shout outs, anything you want to promote real quick before we get out of here? It's about to hit midnight over here, and
I feel you, bro. I don't want. It's 7:30 over here, 7:46. Yeah, man. I just want to give a shout out to you, bro. In general, much respect, bro. It's an honor to speak with you over the phone and on this podcast and get into detail with a lot of different subjects. And I appreciate you, bro, as a friend, as an artist. Keep doing what you're doing, man. You know what I mean? You're a big inspiration. Every time I go on there, I like your posts. If any post I see on my feed, I'm going to like it. And keep doing it, bro. Keep doing it. And if Solomon reaches out, try to produce it. I know you're good with music, your ears and stuff. Try to fucking mix that shit, master that shit, limit that shit, compress that shit, reverb, but not too much reverb.
Right.
And just send it out and make that shit sound dope.
Yeah, I'm trying to,
next
man.
thing you know, he puts your name on there. That's how these guys get known, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, Khari, Martino, he mastered for cheaper than the guy in Canada. You know what I mean? Like, that's what these guys do, and they reach out and word of mouth, you know what I mean?
Yeah, we spoke, and he said he's gonna have his boy who's a DJ put some scratches on it, and then after that he's gonna get it out to me so he can I can mix and master it. So I'm just being patient because I know he's busy, he got a lot going on, and if I can lock that job down for him, that'd be a big deal for me. Just to be able to get my toe in the door a little bit with him and his people, because I listen to a lot of his music and became a fan of his. I respect what he's doing, and just anything about like the money is just getting my service known a little bit, just known out there, get my name spoken.
Go fuck with
anyway.
it. He's gonna send you some R&B shit. Yeah, just fuck with it and make it sound good. It's not like me. I don't do it for the money. I know I wasn't gonna make shit. I released it because I don't know how long life is too. Like, people now, they got an album up there. It'll forever be up there unscratched. You know how these old albums got scratched, the tapes, cassette. We lost tapes. I lost CDs.
Me
now
too.
that shit's in the cloud forever.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I can pass away and you can go up there and listen to one of my tracks.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? That's what's up.
I got a bunch
and
of
that's the way
unreleased-
technology is nowadays. And I'm
I got a bunch of
I'm
unreleased
honored to
Lucy's.
even get it out there. You know.
I got a bunch of unreleased Lucy's I'm going to drop at some point, probably as an EP. Just like Lucy's I put out there as music videos or just songs that didn't really pertain to any particular album that I did. I'm just going to collect those and put them on something so they're on the service. So in case I shut down my beat store and do something else with it, or if something happens where I need to take all my old stuff offline, I still got that catalog of music out there already for whether it be purchased or free. It's already out there, and it's not wasted songs. I don't care how old they are; they're still good. They're just going to be out there. And I was making a point. I forgot what I was getting at, but like since that Piff shutting down, I took off one of the many mixtapes I had on there. I took that down, and since it was all original beats by my boy Hood Prince over there in Hawaii in Makaha, we re-released that on all the digital media outlets, Spotify's, YouTube's, the titles, all those. We put that out because that way it doesn't get lost forever. And he's talking about doing another one. Me and my boy Jim and we're thinking about doing a second group album, the Double Nine. He's got another project he's working on. So yeah, man. And I shout these cats out in all my episodes. So I wanted to give this segment of time for you to shout out anybody you want to shout out, anything you want to do. I'm going to continue to support you and share your shit every time you put something out, because you always putting out fire. That Welcome to Hawaii video, I was watching it again the other day, and you was in so many locations around the island, not really doing anything fancy or nothing wild. You just standing there rapping to the camera. One question I wanted to ask you before I finish up, some of those shots is like, did anybody approach you while you was spitting at the camera? Like, for example, you was at the airport, you was at the bus stop, you was in the middle of the mall, you was in the middle of the street, you was all over the place. Did anybody approach you? Like, what you
doing? Nobody got in the way. No, that took time, and nobody approached or nothing. It was real simple, done all with the phone. Yep. It was all produced with a phone, not an expensive camera or none of this GoPro shit. It was just with phone. Just various spots that I had on a list. You know, when you make a music video, you're like, okay, I want to go here. Okay, I had the Aloha Tower in mind. Okay, I had the Keikis Beach in mind. You know what I mean? And then the hard parts was to find it when it was raining, when it's sunny. You know what I mean? So I was running around looking for rain clouds in the sun, and I found it at Sandy Beach.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Where it rains when it's sunny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just perfect. And then that was the last piece of the puzzle. Everything went together, and I just shot it out of the blue on Facebook one day. I didn't care what time it was. I just posted it, and all of a sudden it just went viral.
Hell yeah.
175,000 views on you know what I mean, Facebook.
Yeah.
This is right before a Bruno's Mars concert, and I was thinking, fuck, I hope Bruno reaches out to me and lets me open up the show. You know what I mean? But it never happened. But the shit went viral. I went to work. I had all these chicks looking at me like that, co-workers, waitresses. It was like, oh, fuck, that's the guy. That's the guy that went. He did not even follow me on Facebook, but that's him. That's the Welcome to Hawaii. Yeah, wow, you're the guy that did the chat. So I was famous maybe like for a month or two, but then after that it kind of
fizzled out. Yeah. On to the next one.
I was at Zippy's eating with my parents. This auntie came up. Oh, you're the guy.
Yeah.
Welcome to Hawaii. Welcome to Hawaii.
Support, man. That's one thing I love about the locals, man. When they see one of their own doing something big, doing something good, they hop on the support wagon and they ride that joint, man. I love it. But yeah, man, this was been another great episode, man. Like I said, shout out to you. Big thanks. Appreciate you giving me your time and doing this episode. Is probably one of my favorite ones out of the main ones that I did, and we're going to definitely stay in touch all the time and do some more work in the future, whether it be music, media. Next time I slide through Hawaii, we're going to kick it again. This time, not just at work, but just on the regular. You know, you'll get a chance to kick out with me and my wife, my daughter. You know, because I'm about to have a daughter pretty soon. For those that been seeing my posts, whatever, and I'm extremely excited about that. But yeah, man, you enjoy your evening, man. And yeah,
you too, brother, man. Thanks for reaching out.
All right, man.
Appreciate it.
Peace. This has been another episode of the Infinite Ambition podcast, speaking with Chrsi Simpson. This is Khari Martino signing off. Remember, man, stay motivated, stay hungry, recognize your limitless worth forever. Khari's Mind Productions, the bad Infinite Ambition. Peace.
Khari's Mind Productions.
Infinite Ambition.